Hi there. Oh, welcome to Tech Talk Weekly. I'm Bob from Creation Station. This is our weekly show where we talk about 4 or 5 cool topics in the news, get you on your way in about 20 minutes. And today we're not going to clear that hurdle. Uh,
It's
how,
because of me.
how are you, Miss Autumn?
I'm doing okay.
It's going to be great.
Sure.
Yeah, we have some fun, cool stories. And it's going to be good having you on like multiple times this year instead of only the once or twice
All
a
the
year.
times.
Yeah, it'll be very fun.
All of them.
So we
It's
have
just
some.
me now.
No, it's not just you. We have lots of people who work in creation stations all around the county that we will be featuring throughout the year. But Miss
There
Autumn
was
here
just an
is
issue this week, so I'm
yeah,
standing in.
and Miss Autumn's taking on some additional roles for us here at the show. So we will see how that
I'm not.
goes. Yeah, wait till March. It's going to be fun. But I have a question for you first, there, Autumn.
No, no.
Can you wiggle your ears?
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
I learned how to do it when I was a kid.
Same here.
So I saw this. Well, anyway, go ahead.
Go. You go for it.
I was going to say that's probably why my hearing's so good, but I know yours is trash. So
This is also true.
it's also genetic. It's genetic. There's a genetic component.
So the trick to this article here, and oh, by the way, we have, as always, we put the real studies into the show notes for you so you can go access it and read up on this and do your own thing. It turns out somebody just had this thought, hey, dogs, cats, everybody, their ears just turn and go towards the sound and do those things. Birds twist their head because they don't have external things. So why don't humans do either? Humans don't typically twist your head to hear closer until you get later on in age. And people like you just never, you can just hear a pin drop across the parking lot.
Yep.
And it turns out we have all the muscles to do it, and we just somehow biologically forgot to do it. Yeah.
So, like I said, I was a child when I learned how to wiggle my ears. I was probably maybe like 10 or 11. And we all actually do it. You just don't realize
Right.
you're doing it because every time you smile, your ears move. And that's how I was taught to wiggle my ears. It's like just pretend like you're
Just
smiling.
smile a lot.
So, but then after a while, you can stop smiling and you can just do it. Like I've got my headphones on, so you can't actually see me do it. And I'm not going to take them off and do it because it's hard with the camera, the way it's set up. But I actually, I do have insanely good hearing. This is a
known fact.
But I mean, there's data to back it up. I actually do have really good hearing. And unfortunately for me, I have no age-related degradation in my hearing, which you were like, oh, but that's great. And I'm like, no, but it really isn't. Because I hear everything, and whether I want to or not.
You still almost do the high-pitched teenager noises.
I can still hear those. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
However, if I hear something, like because I work with children, there's children in here right now, and I hear something going on behind me if I'm out at the reference desk, I do actually move my ears.
Yeah.
And I'm like, excuse
me. And to get us onto that topic there for the article, that is actually what happens when you're listening or thinking really hard about something and trying to pay attention. You may notice that your jaw clenches a little bit, and that is part of the muscle group that moves your ear. So if the back of your jaw starts to clench, that means your instincts, your body is trying to move your ears to get a better view. So
obviously I didn't read the article, so whatever.
It's okay.
I never do. You know I don't.
You got in late. That's okay.
I do know there is, and I can't remember which one's which. There's one side hears words better. One side can help you distinguish words better, and the other side is like sound like non-verbal sounds. Okay. And so I notice, like, I will tilt my head to one side.
Okay, then.
Or move that ear closer so I can, like, if they're behind me and I hear words, then my ear that hears words best, I move it to where I can actually decipher whether they're saying cuss words or not.
The fun things that happen in a library, folks. You know who could help you with that?
Whatever
Bonobos.
article's next. Yeah. Like whatever what's next.
Yeah. Bonobos could help you. It turns out.
Sorry.
No, it's very funny because they understand, like, hey, wait a minute, you're making a mistake. You're doing it wrong. So what they did.
Me too.
It's just such a great little thing. So what they did was, and I wish they had the video here of it, because it would be the short video is great. They trained bonobos, a type of ape. They're the smallest of the great apes, and they trained them that so when you take the food treat and put it under the cup, and here's the 3 cups, and now which one has it? They don't move the cups anywhere. They just put one treat under one cup and then open up the wrong cup. And once they understand what the whole thing is, they will point out where you're supposed to be taking the thing. They understand, wait, you're just making a mistake. No, it's over here.
It's like idiot. This one.
And they they did the whole blind testing thing with multiple peoples being able to show this, putting it behind a partition so that they wouldn't be able to smell the treat or anything like that. So it's a really well done study to show that they actually have empathy for, like, oh, this poor guy doesn't really understand what he's doing. No, take this one over here. Because they did it even if they couldn't get the treat. If the treat was behind a wall, but the human could get it, they would do it for the human to say, no, go look over that one.
They are much like humans. They are social animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to keep those opinions to myself. They want everybody to succeed. So they're like, here, stupid human, stupid totally naked ape. It's under the other cup.
Yeah, hey.
I feel bad for you. You need to eat because apparently you're too dumb to figure it out.
Yes, exactly. We're all in this together. Let's help each other out.
This just shows you our days are numbered.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
Long live our ape overlords.
That's the movie podcast. That's the movie podcast, and you can host that one later. I'm not getting into that.
Yay! I have them all on DVD. Yay!
That would be an interesting thing.
All of them.
Oh man.
All. Anyway,
with 2 space stories that are not related to the other space stories that are happening.
That are not related to apes.
And are not related to apes. See how I did that? So, there's other space stuff going on out there. We're not going to talk about that other story. We talked about it at the beginning of the show last week. This week, 2 things came up over the weekend. One, Blue Origin, one of the other competing space companies out there, did another launch. So that means 2 of them this year already in 2025. And this one it didn't have any people on it, didn't have anything like that, but it had a really important experiment that they pulled off of they launched their capsule. Once it hit the top, when it hit perihelion up there, then they spun it. They used the rocket motors to spin it at the same rate that the gravity is on the moon, so that inside of the capsule was moon gravity instead of free fall, instead of weightlessness. And then there were some automated experiments that happened up there to test what would go on lunar gravity. Isn't that cool?
Because good luck for us getting back there anytime soon.
Well, right, exactly. This is the first time they've been able to do this accurately ever, other than the people who were actually there on the moon. Because all the training for weightlessness and for lunar gravity was done inside of pools. If you've seen the old Apollo, reels and the movies and stuff, they put them into their suits and they suspend them inside of swimming pools to simulate what the lesser gravity of the moon's surface is like. Well, now they don't have to. Well, they figured out a way, and all these experiments worked to get the right data. So now they know, based on the original Apollo astronaut data that they brought back with them and all those things, and all the robots we got on the moon now we have actual data that we can use to design and build another capsule that will be up there in between the Earth and moon. And when you're just like right now, you adjust your timing of your sleep when you're going across a bunch of time zones, you'll be able to adjust your gravity as you're flying from Earth to the moon.
I'm sure DARPA is working on a pill for that. So, whatever, it'll be fine.
A pill for what?
Adjusting gravity.
For everything.
Yeah. What aren't they? What aren't they?
Yeah.
Please don't show the.
I know.
I'm
scrolling down.
It's just like, come on. Anyway.
Yep.
They're still going to have to train in pools because it's objectively cheaper.
Oh, 100%.
To train in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
Than it is to be and it's, marginally safer because things can still go horribly wrong when you're weighted in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I forget.
And those pools are huge.
Yeah.
They're huge.
The people who don't live near Houston or Kennedy, who don't get a chance to go see these things.
I've never seen the pools, but I've seen plenty of training videos.
Yeah.
That
amazing stuff.
They fit these full-size capsules and all of this stuff inside the pool. We're not talking that they go to the YMCA and
Nope. These are extra deep, extra long, bigger than Olympic pools. They're massive.
And Olympic pools are big.
The other one was not so great. So we talked about this last week as part of the opening story. Was the reason why people are up there is because one of the more recent SpaceX launches exploded. They're still dealing with this now, weeks and months later, of all of this stuff just washing up on their beaches. So from January 16th till now, they are still getting stuff washing up on the shore, and all. Oh, stop it!
Paywall.
Man, it's probably fine. Okay, we're gonna ignore that one. It will work for people. I've viewed it too many times in reviewing for the show.
Bro, I just clicked on it once and it put me behind a paywall.
Oh man. Well, we'll get it from archive.org or something. Yeah. But so basically, St. Kitts and some other islands out there
Turks and Caicos.
Yes, are getting
the
all
good
this
beaches.
Debris.
We're not talking garbage beaches. These are good beaches.
Yeah. Other countries.
Yeah.
Not in the U.S. It's one thing. It's a horrible thing if it blows up over the Gulf of Mexico and the debris washes up on shore in Texas. Yeah, that's a bad thing because we don't want any of that anyway. But it's even worse when it's another sovereign country that a private company from the United States is exploding stuff over.
Oops. That could have been an argument for our entire space program, to be perfectly honest.
This is true.
Because, we had the different landing sites all across the world to where we could launch stuff, namely the shuttle.
Yeah, when was the shuttle? We had the emergency landings in Spain and in California and in Australia.
There were a few other, Australia was one. And nowhere... No China, no Russia, nothing like that.
Yeah.
You don't want
it's a thing to. Yeah. The point of this story really is it's hard. Space is hard.
But it's trash, and not in the that's trash. No, it's actual space garbage that is washing up on people's shores, and these are it's an environmental issue.
That's my
point. As
because if you have an accident, it's going to happen.
Right. Stuff happens.
But if you had launched out of Kennedy instead, it would have washed up right there on the shore of Kennedy.
Didn't they launch out of Texas, though?
Yeah. Yeah. By insisting on having your own little private spaceport out there.
So why would it wash up at Kennedy if
if you launch out of Kennedy, it would. That's what I'm saying. If you kept on launching out of Kennedy, we built Cape Kennedy for a reason. Then when things go wrong, as in your recent book that you were shared with me that you were reading. Yeah.
You want me to say the book?
No, it's okay. Let people figure it out later.
It's a good book. It's about space shuttles.
Yep, it's awesome.
I mean, it wasn't awesome. It was terrible, but the book was good.
The book is good.
Anyway,
there we go.
Yeah, and so then it just rains down in the ocean, and
exactly
nobody cares about that.
Well, yeah. Let's get back onto let's get back onto happier topics of one company's in control of your whole life online.
What company?
Maybe. Tell me about this one. I know you at least glanced at this article.
I was just like, I don't know who that is. I don't. I mean, I scanned it. Some dude got
good. So
something.
The essence of this article and the point of me putting it into the show notes and into the rundown today is not because he is such a great guy and he doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve it. I don't know what the guy's how his personality
I don't know
is.
I don't know who this person is at all. Never seen anything.
He's got this 15 years worth of building a YouTube channel to highlight the products that he sells. Lots of good reviews, lots of all that kind of stuff. And an automated thing took down his channel entirely and deleted all of his videos, including all of the product links, all of the everything. And he lost his entire business and had to fight YouTube to get it put back on to show it can't be a copyright violation. It's my company.
Right.
Now, it's got a happy ending. YouTube put it back up. It took them more. It's not like we just put that right back up a half hour later. It took days. It's not a quick process.
Right. And that's lost revenue for a business owner. Yes, it's bad that they did that. Surprise, an algorithm got something wrong. Huh.
Yeah.
Again, there are other news stories in the recent past that dealt with algorithms getting something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for listening to the show.
No, I wasn't. I didn't. Get rid of it. No, I pay attention to news is what I do. I wasn't listening. Come on. You know me. Regardless, you need to have more than one space for your business.
Yeah.
And this is whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's an online business, multiple platforms. Offline backups, but dude, web domain names are so cheap.
Yeah.
You're already spending all this time making these videos, editing these videos.
Just our little podcast right here. We have it saved
all over the place.
3 different places.
Yeah.
There's an archive
and it's on
of it.
Multiple platforms. It's not just YouTube.
It's on 3 different platforms. Plus, there's an archive version for Sunshine State Law. So we have records of all the stuff we ever did on the air. Doesn't seem that hard to me, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, if I can do it, if we can do it here.
I mean, especially if it's your sole source of one of your sole sources of income, you gotta protect yourself because you know how shady some of this stuff can be.
Mm-hmm.
You say one, even though he didn't, I'm guessing, didn't actually do anything wrong,
right?
But you even look at something crossways and violation of community.
And now here's my question back to you though is, where should he have gone? If he's doing videos, where should you put your videos?
If you have your own website, you have your videos there. I mean, if you're making income, he's already been 15 years, and I know he wasn't probably making money the entire 15 years.
Yeah.
But the second you start monetizing and you start making, you need to have your own thing. Now you're like, okay, well, we first release, like you see plenty of people. I mean, I watch a lot of content on YouTube, and there are plenty of people who are on platforms like Patreon.
Yep.
Where first release is on Patreon, then they jump to YouTube, then they jump to the smaller form doing reels on either Facebook or Instagram or whatever. So you have to diversify, or stuff like this will happen.
Right.
And you may not be so lucky to get it back.
Fully agreed. Considering that when he had to reach out to Ars Technica, who wrote, and the reporter who was writing the article reached out to YouTube about it, and magically all of a sudden something happens to get it fixed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay, so a human had to intervene to help fix this.
Mm-hmm.
How much human do you think has to be in a human for you to keep
that picture.
copyright?
That freaks me out. I don't like that picture. It just really disturbs me.
So it turns out the Copyright Office has now put out a new ruling on this.
Give it a minute.
Well, this is only the third one. This is the third one in the last 12 months, which is insanely fast for the Copyright Office.
Yeah.
So they have come out. If you create something using AI, you use any of those prompt generators, etc., and you say, give me a picture of this, you cannot copyright that. If you say, give me this paragraph, you cannot copyright it, art, anything, done. They have said definitively, it does not matter if it takes you 50 tries to craft your prompt to get the exact results you want. You cannot copyright it because you can't give that exact same prompt to somebody else and they put it in and get the same result, because that's not how these AI generators work. So that's not copyrightable. On the other hand, if you do it entirely by human, it's copyrightable and you can do it.
So the argument to me is, you can give the same thing to, I can create something and I can give the same thing to you. You're not going to come up with the same thing.
Right.
So, I mean, I understand,
here's the trick for you, Autumn. Did you see this cat? Did you see the cat?
I see it now.
Oh, okay. So this is in the actual copyright ruling. This picture of this cat, this AI
that's
picture.
Delightful because it's great. I love it.
Yeah. So this is an example of this is not copyrightable. End of story. Here is one that is copyrightable, partially, and this is the new thing. You get a partial copyright for this because you hand drew this image, the input, and then you told it, I want you to retexture this to look like a 3D face. It does that. So you get a partial copyright only for your input, not for the final thing.
Right. And
so if I take that final thing and use it in my stuff, we would have to argue in court about how much of that, our final output, should qualify you as a percentage for what I made off of using that image.
Right. And where does the rest of it go?
Where's the rest of what the money goes?
Yeah.
To me, I get to keep the money.
No. But if you say it's a 50-50, who gets the rest of it? Your input is only 50%. Where's the other 50% go?
Well, that's
into the void.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'll take it.
Yeah. There we go. Sure.
Right here.
So.
Actually, I have my library highlight. Hold on. Keep talking. It's fine. I just need to do this. Go ahead. It's fine. Go ahead.
So, I see what happened.
I need to get something off my desk.
So the real trick here, and why this is so important, and it, because of the flood of other news that's out there, it went under the radar. In the most recent Indiana Jones movie, up until this ruling, I think it's Warner Brothers. Who owns them?
Oh my God!
I don't know who owns
Disney.
Disney. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a Lucasfilm
Disney,
situation.
Lucasfilms, Disney, who owns Indiana Jones. The copyright for that movie was up for grabs.
I should have bought it
because they used AI to denature or de-age the characters live as they're filming them to adjust it. So they used AI, and the previous rulings were if you use AI, you lose your copyright.
Yeah.
Disney's not a happy person when you start messing with copyright.
I mean,
So that's why we have this new ruling this fast.
yeah, because they paid for it.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they didn't, but they did.
yeah.
They paid for it to
Again,
be faster, but it didn't necessarily work out in their favor.
no.
However, yes, it did, because Harrison Ford is 50% under contract for Disney,
That's
who they are
actually
paying for.
But see, that's actually the new quirk. So what happens
that's
if
the
you
new
have
rule,
an AI generated character in a show now? You can't copyright that character. You remember in the Star Wars movies where they add in all those CGI people. If you used AI, which you have to now because it's all just generically AI, you officially, as of last November, cannot use Adobe without using AI. They stopped saying that you had an option to not use AI because they've built it into too many of their tools.
So a lot of the major studios, especially the effects heavy
Yep.
ones, have their own proprietary
Of
software.
course. Yep. But for the average person, I doubt we have too many Hollywood production people listening right now. But
don't use Adobe.
well, go out and read this article. Go click on the show notes. Go read. We got a couple of really good articles here. Go read exactly what's going to do. If you're a writer, if you're an artist, if you're anyone out there, go read this to know what the Copyright Office is actually saying about what you can do with your work before you put it out there for the rest of the world to see and try and sell it.
Yep.
Including books, etc., etc., etc.
Library highlight.
Ooh, we do have a big Art Lit, which is a chalk art and cultural festival coming up this Saturday here at the North Regional Library up in Coconut Creek.
I know this is probably backwards, but it's 10:30 to 3:30. I couldn't read it there.
It's okay.
So yeah, get there. The library itself opens at 10 a.m. So there are events inside and outside all day.
And you can ask.
The last one's like 3:30 to 3:30 or 4.
And we will know if you watched the show. We'll know because when you're there and you run into Miss Autumn here, you can ask her about her hearing.
No, you're going to see Bob first.
You're going to see me too. I'm at every festival. Come on now. If there is a story, or you have a comment about what are you covering these stories for,
I don't want to hear it.
Reach out. Creation Station at broward.org. And we'll see everybody next week. Bye.